is Monday, August 10th through Sunday, August 16th. This is a new moon week. We're heading to the Leo new moon on Wednesday, the 12th, along with a solar eclipse. So this is like a big deal week. And the moon is going to start off in its own sign of Cancer this week, this highly intuitive sign, and it'll be there until early Tuesday morning as it makes its way into Leo. So there's a lot of stuff happening this week. There's a lot of stuff happening this month. But we start off, we have a lot of Venus energy the beginning of the week. So on Monday the 10th, Venus is going to be trine, positive aspect, with Pluto. And it's also going to be opposite Neptune. Now, Venus in Libra believes in law and order. It believes in etiquette. And Neptune is in the sign of Aries, and Neptune glamorizes whatever sign it's in. So it can glamorize anger or loud voices or passion or outrage. So we've got some loud energy, and then we've got harmonious energy of Libra. Venus in Libra kind of wants to like cool things down and keep the peace. And Neptune in Aries wants you to say what you mean. So it's kind of feisty. And it creates an air triangle. But rules and laws win out. Okay. So Mars energy, Aries energy, is going to have to appeal to the harmonious energy, okay? And it's going to have to follow that. So the rules will win out. Honor, law, order, and etiquette will prevail. Now, with Venus, with the trine with Pluto, that can bring in a lot of passion, okay? We just have to be careful about not letting that passion turn into just feistiness, okay? Because we are heading to a fire new moon, conjunct Jupiter, which makes it even bigger, right? Because we have a fire new moon every August. We have a new moon in Leo. But this one is exaggerated with Jupiter there. It's just exaggerated. And then it's even more exaggerated because Pluto's opposite. All right. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Keep choosing passion. So honor and law, order, and etiquette prevail on with the first aspect with Venus. Then on the 11th, Mars, the planet of action, moves into the sign of Cancer. So we were talking about this in the beginning of the video, that this isn't its best placement, right? Because Mars likes to move fast and wants to get things done. It's the planet of action and motivation. It's the god of war in Greek mythology. So Mars to Cancer, we want to slow down and take a moment before reacting. So if you know Cancers, we're really protective of our family. We're very protective of our home. We're very protective of our feelings. And we like to be in charge. So we're going to need to slow down and take a moment before like snapping at someone, and just going to want to be notice that that's the energy in the air. Okay. And then it's feisty in the air. So slow down, take a moment before reacting. Now, the other thing with Mars and Cancer, it's like nobody better mess with your peeps. All of your protective instincts and childhood issues will be stirred. Okay. Rejection, competition, all those kind of themes. Your lover isn't your parent, okay? People aren't out to get you, so please keep that in mind. Okay, also on 8/11, so wow, a lot happening. Venus is going to be trine Uranus, and it's going to be opposite Neptune. So Venus, planet of relationships, right? Trining, positive aspect, the oh wow planet, the anything can happen planet. And so I felt it as that love can show up. Okay. It can show up through friends. It can show up through just being in the right place at the right time. But because Neptune is involved, because this is opposite Neptune, you want to give it time to reveal itself. Okay. So it might be like, wow, overwhelming at first. But there's fogginess involved. So don't forget that part and wait, give yourself time to kind of see the full picture. Now, if you're not looking for love and you're like, okay, whatever, that doesn't matter to me. This could be friends showing up. New friend could show up. And this can also be financial opportunity showing up. Okay. But there's fogginess and we don't want to get so wrapped up that we forget that part. Now, 8/11. We also have Mercury trine Neptune. So Mercury, the planet of communication, is making a positive aspect with Neptune, planet of creativity. So Mercury is in the sign of Leo, and it's trining Neptune in the fire sign of Aries. So there's a lot of courage of the heart. But remember, fire is really intuitive energy. You know, a lot of times, and I find myself portraying intuitive energy as being mostly watery, but water is like soulful and like psychic energy, but fire energy is highly intuitive. Fire is very spirited, like, you know, like quickly, like, feeling this instinct to turn one way and then you avoid an accident. Okay. That's an example of fire energy intuition. So you're going to be able to respond to situations immediately. It can almost be compared to like a lightning round of Jeopardy. Okay. So yours is like a speed round and you're getting it all right. So there's a certain amount of alertness, but if something seems off to you, you don't need to go into logic to try to figure out why it seems wrong to you. If it smells fishy, trust it, okay? Act on it in the moment. So if the contract seems worded wrong, trust it and act in the moment. Don't wait. You will be happy that you didn't. Now, also, Mercury is going to be in opposition with Pluto. So we definitely want to check the fine print. Pluto's like the investigator. And remember, Mercury in its shadow is the trickster. So make sure that, you know, something that might seem like trivial at the time, or it's like a harmless condition, or you let a discrepancy slide, and you don't want to ignore these things because you're the one that will pay the price. Okay. So take care of it in the moment, get it done with, and you'll be in good shape. So this combo of these aspects can help us get over inhibitions. There's an alertness, and we're going to trust our intuition. Okay. Now, if that wasn't enough, there's more happening. So on the 12th, we have a lot happening on the 12th because it's Leo new moon and it's the solar eclipse, but it's also Mercury sextile Uranus. And so Mercury in Leo, fixed sign, is sextiling Uranus in the mutable sign of Gemini. So this can be a helpful aspect. Pay attention to what's hidden underneath, and the actions are intelligent. So we have great ideas because Uranus is the genius of the zodiac, and it helps accelerate things. Things move fast, so our thinking can be accelerated. There's a lot of great ideas and there's a lot of helpful friends. So take advantage of that on the 12th. Okay, so here's the Leo new moon. So it is August 12th at 1:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, along with the solar eclipse. So we see that the sun and the moon are both at 20 degrees Leo. Okay, so this is going to fall wherever that Leo, 20 degrees Leo is in your chart. That's where the new moon will be taking place. And it's about 11 degrees away from Jupiter. So it's a little bit, it's not really considered conjunct Jupiter, but I think of Jupiter as so big that just being in the same sign is going to have an effect on it. Okay, so this is dramatic. And we've got Mercury there, and Mercury in Leo is loud. Okay, so this is not a quiet new moon. I often think of new moons as quiet. This is not. One of the things that jumps out to me is that it's 9 degrees away from the south node. And the nodes have just recently changed signs. So we've got 29 degrees of Leo, south node. I just feel like that's the cup of the past there. So we have to be careful about not just like falling back into the past or making decisions or out of like our heart wants something. And, you know, Leo does rule passion, and Leo in astrology, the 5th house is the house of dating and love affairs. So we have to be careful not to fall too hard back into those. Okay. And it's going to be opposite Pluto, even though technically, again, Pluto's at 3 degrees. And I like to go up to about 10 degrees within that range of considering it together with something. But again, Pluto's such a heavy hitter that just being opposite in signs is still going to affect us also. So very dramatic new moon, very heart-based new moon. It is trining Saturn. And so trining Saturn's at 14 degrees. So they're working in a harmonious way, right? And Saturn, the builder. So there's your Leo new moon. All right. Now, the solar eclipse. So the moon passes in front of the sun. That's the solar eclipse. We're not going to see it here. It's going to be seen in like Iceland and northern Spain. If you're there, enjoy it. It's very dramatic. It's the blocking of light. So there may be a dramatic change in your outlook about yourself, about where you're going. This is a good time for an ego check. And it's also a time of great epiphanies, okay? There can be surprise realizations. There can be the removal of someone, or someone you looked up to, or someone in a political office. Now, I almost shared with you the post that I really wanted to show you, which was the king being taken away in handcuffs, but I don't want to get too political on here. But traditionally, I know I was doing some research in the Roman Empire, they felt that this kind of eclipse would show the removal of a king. Okay, so removal of the king, departure of someone, maybe someone at work, maybe it's the end of an apprenticeship, maybe this is your mentor retiring, and it's time for you to step out on your own. Okay, for you to leave home. It's almost like a graduation, stepping out from behind a shadow. Give yourself some time to get used to the new landscape and start making plans for your future. Okay, very exciting. Now, you're going to make moon water. Remember, a couple days before, a couple days after, leaving water in a jar, in a window if you can, ideally. You can even leave it outside these days in this nice weather and make some moon water and drink it a couple days after, and just taking in that energy of this powerful Leo new moon and solar eclipse. Now, the moon stays in Leo until early morning on Thursday, and then it moves into Virgo. So it'll be in Virgo Thursday, Friday, Saturday until mid-morning when it moves into Libra. So, you know, Virgo's a great time to take care of things and get things in order. And then the weekend will be a great time to enjoy relationships. Now, on the 15th, Mercury is going to be conjunct Jupiter in Leo. And there can be a lot of choices. Jupiter was named after the god of plenty, the god of abundance, but also, and I just learned this myself, the god of storms. So you got a nice picture here of raining opportunities, all right? And there could be a lot of offers. You might feel like a kid in a candy store. So enjoy that. Enjoy the Virgo to Libra weekend. Again, getting things in order and then enjoying your people. And Is that everything for the week? Oh my goodness, what a week. I mean, that is a lot of energy, and there's a lot of Leo. So we call it a stellium. There's a stellium in Leo, 3 or more planets in the same sign. Mercury, the planet of communication, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, and the sun, our ego, our soul, in its own sign of Leo. Let me give you some cards. Let's see what you need to know. I think about what's being removed. And, I've often heard, I know like Sheila Haidt talks about offering up something that you would like to be removed. So maybe getting ahead of the curve there and saying, okay, please offer this up. And, you can do it politically if you want, but you can also do it personally, what you would like to see removed. Now, I guess you're getting 2 from the Tinseltown. And let me get one. I guess it's that one. All right, so let's see what you've got here. Your first card is the Tower. Of course, Uranus energy. Uranus is hanging out in the sign of Gemini right now. And so we've got Uranus, and we see, the tower. This is a nice version of the tower, the cat knocking the lamp off the shelf. Okay. So unexpected things. And we're, coming out of that. We were ending July on that, Aquarius full moon. That was an intense one. We've got some more Uranus energy here. We've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got Cupid's arrow being shot. Okay. Now, didn't I say this was the week that love could show up? Is that this week? Well, even if it was last week, the energy's still in the air. So we've got some Cupid energy here. Remember, the tower can be unexpected things. Things can show up. Now, I meant to pull 1 Tinseltown tarot. I got 2. Let's see what we got. I've got the 2 of Pentacles. So we've got a relationship number showing up here. And I've got the Queen of Wands. Of course, we have the Queen of Wands. She had to make her way in here because she is a Leo queen. So I love all the outfits here, and the Queen of Wands sitting on a tube of lipstick. All right. So enjoy, Leo, it's like, show up, wear the clothes you want to wear, show up. Look at her great outfit there in the 2 of Pentacles. And there's a lot of relationship vibes. It's a Libra weekend. So, wear an outfit, maybe something you've been saving, just wear it, enjoy it. And sudden things can show up, but sudden opportunities can show up. Friends can show up. Love can show up. Opportunities can show up. Let's see what your oracle is. It's Blackthorn, and it says banishing. And we were talking about what needs to be removed, right? Let's see what the little book says here about Blackthorn banishing. Number 36. And the book says, drawing Blackthorn means you may need to banish some negative force from your life, either from within or without. Blackthorn is often called the dark crone of the woods. It is a very powerful plant that is associated with Samhain, the division between summer and winter. Blackthorn is used to create safe boundaries when undertaking banishing or binding spells and shadow work. The Museum of Witchcraft and Magic in England has an old blasting rod made of 3 long blackthorn stems growing from a single branch with thorns left intact, wound together and tied with a dark red ribbon and used to drive away evil and malice. So, we're talking about what we can let go of, right? We're talking about the eclipse, what we can let go of. And maybe this is, banishing is another way of saying removal. And so maybe there's some things that we are ready to remove. Maybe it isn't necessarily a specific person. Maybe it's just a way of being or a way of feeling. And with Leo energy, it makes me feel like, and with the way like these cards showed with the lipstick and everything, it's like why do we have to play so small all the time, right? Why can't we wear the lipstick? Why can't we wear the outfit we want? Why can't we live bigger than maybe, we see other people around us doing? So I say wear the dress. I say banish the ideas of having to play small. This is Leo season. Love yourself, whatever it may be. We're lucky to be alive. And so remember that and try to thank your body and enjoy this big new moon week.